Well, in Georgia, we have noticed that there is clearly a before and after war in 2008. This has led to increasing tension that has grown even more in the context of the pre-election campaigns, and that has been translated in a numbers of laws that contradict freedom of expression and freedom, political and civic freedom for the Georgian people. We can notice notably that the zero tolerance policy from 2006 has led to an incredible number of conviction rates, close to 100%, which is seen in no other country in the world. And this has led to an incredible overcrowding and really pitiful situation in the prisons, where the number of people, of rate of people imprisoned for 100,000 people is the highest in Europe, even greater than in Russia. In addition, there were more than 140 people who died last year in prison. So this situation is quite worrying, and there are also quite a number of more than 100 political prisoners in Georgia. In this context of the elections, the upcoming elections, what worries us is also media freedom. The principle, of course, is that everyone should have access to all media, both from government and opposition. And the must-carry principle should remain beyond the 60 days that have been allowed by the parliament. Now, in terms of international presence, we consider that it's fundamental that the EU, but also the UN and the OSCE, bear a very careful eye in this tense moment, so as to ensure that freedom of expression, freedom of assembly, freedom of the press, and true independence of the judiciary are ensured in the election and post-election period. And beyond the election, that the demands for reforms that have been asked since years on Georgia, prison reform, justice system reform, be ensured.
Dans un pays, le nombre du média complètement contrôlé par le gouvernement, c'est normal que pour l'opposition, il faut créer le média. Parce qu'il n'a pas de choix. Si vous veulent avoir donné son voix.
We're aware of what has taken place. I mean, obviously this is a complex and complicated situation. You have an election that's taking place, and a few months before the election, one of the TV companies, satellite TV companies, which has clear links with the opposition party, are trying to expand to expand their channel. So it's clear that the regulators will be concerned about the motivation behind that, and obviously the need for the political opposition to have greater access to the public. That in itself is not a problem, but the question is, there is not sufficient, if you like, regulation over the definition of pluralism in the media in Georgia. It's not this. The problem is it's easy to, or it's difficult to analyse, take one particular issue and condemn one particular case when you've actually got to look at the whole broader context of the problem. The broader context in Georgia is that you have a deeply divided media community which is being tightly controlled or influenced by political groups. And until you solve the problem of creating an independent journalistic community where political parties on both sides respect the work of journalists, until you have that sort of environment, you're always going to have this problem about the control over the media.